I want to return to the budget, which, as I recall, was the
It's not
point
a
of this,
return, you're the first one.
was the point of this hearing.
Start it off. We're starting.
Okay, yeah. Okay, point one is, quit deferring maintenance in the national parks. The budget that you proposed, I'm happy you proposed it, but it's $2.8 billion for $400 billion worth of assets. That's less than 1%. The general industry standard is 2 to 4% of value for maintenance. We went through a lot of effort, time, struggle to pass the bipartisan Great American Outdoors Act, a big part of which was to tackle deferred maintenance. But let's stop digging the hole. Okay, so I hope that what you can do is come back with a revised request or work with us to increase the maintenance budget because it's not adequate. $2.8 billion on $400 billion worth of assets is not adequate, and it's pretty frustrating as someone who really worked hard on the Great American Outdoors Act to see the administration continuing a pattern of, and I'm not blaming this administration, this goes back 30 years, 40 years, but to continue a pattern of underfunding maintenance, and therefore we're going to have to do this again at some point in the future. I don't want to do that. Let's do our maintenance as we should right now.
Thank you.
Second point, National Park Service staffing. There is increases in the budget, but again, they're not adequate. Senator Daines and I have made a recommendation that there should be 23,000 full-time equivalents. That's based on visitation rates and historical visitation rates. The problem is visitation keeps going up, staffing is staying the same. That's not fair to the visitors. It's not fair to the Park Service staff that are being stressed and overworked. I had a chart, I didn't bring it today, but at Yellowstone, for example, staffing is pretty much the same as it was in 2011. Attendance is almost doubled. And this is true at Acadia, it's true at Yosemite, it's true across the country. So that's the second point is I'd like to work with you on increasing staffing numbers because, again, it's not fair to the visitors and to the staff to put them in that position. I hope you'll work with me on that.
Absolutely. Yes, we absolutely agree. I've traveled to a number of national parks across the country, and it's a similar story in many places. So thank you. I mean, I'm happy that people are getting out to our national parks. So we need to make sure we're supporting that.
But we've got to maintain them and
Yes.
have them adequately staffed in order to maintain the experience. Final point, following the leadership of my other colleagues, I'm going to depart from the budget for a minute. Offshore wind is an enormously important potential energy source. Virtually all, if not all, of the offshore wind proposals that are out there have one thing in common. They're not really offshore wind. They're onshore wind in the water. In other words, they go to the ground. The towers go into the seabed. The University of Maine has been working for 14 years to develop a proposal for a floating offshore wind capacity, which could be an enormous breakthrough because it opens up a much bigger area for potential offshore wind development. They have a proposal in that they've been working with the Department of Energy on for many years. Department of Energy has made a significant investment. This is a technical matter, and perhaps we need to talk to your counsel, but Senator Collins and I wrote to you about this project, and the response was, well, we're working on it, but we have to issue a request for other proposals because under the statute, we have to look for competition. The question is, what's the meaning of the word competition? We believe it's competition for a research array, which is what this project is, not a commercial array, a research array. And we hope that that can be expedited. This is I believe, one of the most important energy independence, clean energy projects in the country or in the world, because offshore wind that is on a floating platform would be an enormous breakthrough. So I hope that you will go back and talk to the people in the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management about expediting this process, following the statute to be sure, but not opening up to a lengthy, competitive project for commercial use, which isn't what this project is.
Understand. Thank you, Senator. I will absolutely take that message back to Bowen.
And I just want you to know that Senator Collins and I are absolutely committed to this project because we want to do the research. Maine has the highest percentage of fisheries-related income of any state in the country. One of the things we want to know is, what's the impact on fisheries? And our fishing community is concerned about that. The only way we're going to know this is if we can do the research necessary. And again, that's one of the reasons we want to move forward with this. So I appreciate your commitment. I'm going to hold you to it.
Thank you. Yes, and we are committed to offshore wind. In fact, we've been working extremely hard and have had some tremendous success in offshore wind projects moving forward. I was in California, and they were also talking about floating wind turbines that they would tow out to the middle of the ocean. So I'm happy to see that technology and that research moving forward and appreciate your interest in it. I'll make sure that, that I speak with Amanda about this issue.
Thank you. We're ready to do it, and we'd really like to see an acceleration of the process within the constraints of the statute. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Murkowski.